I always used to say to the non-Muslim lecturers and other people as well, who invented social policy? And they'd look at me in a bit of a confused way because they think they've invented it. I said, no, the first historical account of the development of a social policy infrastructure is in the Khalifa of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh. And I'd say this to them and they'd look at me in a confused way. What are you talking about? What is social policy? I'll give you an example. Who knows what child benefit is? Anyone know what child benefit is? Children's allowance? Every child gets benefit every week. For many families, brothers, this keeps them afloat. Isn't this a beautiful thing? Where did they get it from? Does anyone know where they got it from? Umar radiallahu anh. Umar ibn al-Khattab. Umar radiallahu anh, again, he's patrolling his city. He hears a child crying. He goes to the woman. He says, why is your child crying?
And then later on in the night, the child's still crying. And Umar radiallahu anh came again. And he said, what an evil mother you are. All night your child's crying. Why haven't you looked after him? And she said, she didn't know this is Umar. She said, Amirul Mu'mineen Umar ibn Khattab has stipulated an allowance for those children who are weaned off. And I'm trying to wean my child off. And then Umar radiallahu anhu asked her how old her child was. She told him. And then in the Fajr Salah, the narration mentioned, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf mentioned, he said, I swear by Allah, Umar cried so much. Umar cried so much that we could not understand what he was reciting in the Fajr Salah. And then after the Fajr Salah, Umar turned around and Umar radiallahu anhu said to himself, he said, woe unto you, Umar, how many children have you killed due to this law of yours? And then he stipulated that every child in the Muslim world which was born would be given an allowance. Child benefit started with the Muslims. Umar radiallahu anhu started child benefit.
Even in Ireland, I'm told in Ireland, brothers and sisters, she told me there, on the child benefit book in Ireland, it used to be written at the bottom, as was originally established by Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu established the treasury, the Baytul Mal. And in his time, brothers, you cannot even imagine the wealth that came to the Muslims. Let me give you an example. The treasury was established when Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he returned from Bahrain with 500,000 dirham. And the story goes, Umar radiallahu anhu says to Abu Hurairah, how much did you bring back? 500,000 dirham. How much? 500,000 dirham. How much? He couldn't even believe this amount of money. I'll give you an idea of what currency was like that time. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, his fortune was estimated at 50,000 dirham. 50,000. In that, the equivalent of him today would be multi-millionaire. Abu Bakr would have been considered as a multi-millionaire today. 50,000 dirham was his fortune. He spent it all in the service of Allah. He spent it all in the freeing of slaves, the saving of young girls who were being buried alive, and the support of the Prophet ﷺ. Multi-millionaire devoted his wealth to Islam. Now Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh has bought 500,000 dirham back. And there was no treasury system at the moment. So he established the Baytul Mal.
Anybody who could not work in the Muslim world was given an allowance. Umar is saying, he said, I swear by Allah, I will ensure that the Bedouins in the mountains of Sana will get their allowance. They will get their allowance. For Sayyidina Yarbu and other Sahaba who were blind, he actually had a carer. He had a carer to look after these people. Umar radiallahu anhu saw a group of Christians. Subhanallah. They suffered from leprosy. Umar radiallahu anhu took out wealth from the Baytul Mal. And he gave them, he spent on them to cure them. And those who could not be cured, Umar radiallahu anhu spent on them until their final days. Umar once saw a Jewish man, he was begging. And Umar radiallahu anhu called the governor and he said, why is this man begging for? He said, all his life he's paid taxes, now he can't fend for himself. Why is he begging?
So in Islam we have the first occurrence when a Baytul Mal, i.e. a community chest, the collective fund was established. Then Umar radiallahu anh appointed officials for the administration of this so that it was given to children, to fuqara, those people whose needs were, to widows, to orphans, to education, to health care, to looking after prisoners, so that the army also and the soldiers had a wage. This is what social policy is, brothers. No other, this is the first occurrence in history where we have. Before, yes, there was sadaqah. In the time of the Jews and the Christians, there was sadaqah. People gave charity and helped people in need, but there was no formal institution of collecting the money and then ensuring it is distributed to these various categories of people. And to give you an idea, so this was Abu Hurairah who bought 500,000 dirham back from Bahrain. When the lands of Iraq had been conquered, 86 million dirham were collected from the lands of Iraq on an annual basis into Bayt al-Mal.